Did you notice Ozzy Osbourne's final words before his farewell? They may have marked his last goodbye. At the end of the Back to the Beginning live stream, as fireworks burst and lights dimmed, Ozzy gripped the arms of his custom black chair, struggling to stand. But he couldn't. He turned his head and, though his mic was off, mouthed what looked like, "Let me f***ing stand."
Dada. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Kelly Osbourne posted a touching video with Dad Ozzy Osbourne 2 days before he died. The resurfaced video showing Kelly's Instagram story shared July 20th, with the 40-year-old documenting a morning with the Osbourne family at their England home.
They had him on so many I mean, the list of was unbelievable.
I haven't succumbed to them pain pills and all that, because it's dangerous. I had a problem with them before, so...
How hard has that been for you to stay away from those?
Well, it's kind of like I'm a junkie anyway, so it's like I have to really... I can't have it in my possession.
And he came into my father's office for management with Black Sabbath. So I was 18 when I first met him.
Love at first sight?
No.
I just want to say to you on behalf of the guys in Black Sabbath and myself, that your support over the years.
So get this, you guys won't believe it. Sharon Osbourne has finally broken her silence after the heartbreaking demise of her husband, the one and only Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. The rock legend passed away last week at 76, and honestly, the whole music world is still shook. It's the end of an era, and everyone is feeling it. Let's rewind a bit because their story goes way back.
Since publicly suffering from Parkinson's disease in 2020, his body has become increasingly difficult to control. After multiple spinal surgeries, he can hardly walk, but he still insists on going on stage. Even if he can only stand for a few seconds, he will try to stand up.
You say it definitely was not love at first sight.
In 79, we were working together, and it was in 1980, that we started. We were working together, and it just became something else.
This was my final performance. I have to say goodbye to the stage. I've loved all my life. I'm truly sorry I could only do this show strapped into a custom chair, because my body just couldn't handle it anymore. My Parkinson's has reached stage 5. Honestly, I'm not doing well. I spent a long time preparing for this concert.
Thinking it. Oh my God.
Going for me, you know. My wife worked her ass up for a year to get it all organized. And a guy called Tom Morello, who organized all the bands. People like that, you know, make concerts happen.
Sharon first met Ozzy in the 70s when her dad, Don Arden, was managing Black Sabbath. Talk about a destined rock and roll romance. Fast forward to 1982, the two tied the knot after Ozzy split from his first wife, Thelma Riley. Together, Sharon and Ozzy had 3 kids, Amy, Kelly, and Jack. But Ozzy was already a dad to 3 more, Jessica, Lewis, and Elliot, who he actually adopted while married to Thelma.
If you ever do this to me again, I'm going to cut your hair off, or I'm going to cut all your clothes.
Would you rather have had your hair all cut off or the clothes?
I wish I hadn't done the stupid thing that I did to get to warrant that happening, and that's the truth, because...
Now here's where things get even more emotional. While DJ Jack Saunders was live on BBC Radio 1, the news broke, on air. He literally had to process Ozzy's passing while still broadcasting. He later posted the moment on Instagram and wrote this beautiful tribute, calling Ozzy one of the greatest showmen metal has ever seen. He said every rock band out there carries the torch because Ozzy lit the path first. It was raw, emotional, and honestly, so real. Sharon actually replied to his post, thanking him with a simple but heartfelt, "Jack, thank you for your tribute to Ozzy tonight, bless you." And it already had over 6,000 likes.
Jamie told us that Ozzy died.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as we were leaving. Speaking of which, speaking of the guy who... He burned the candles at both ends, lad.
Dude, he just
performed, yeah.
It always happens like this. It's like he did... there cannot not be a correlation between hanging up the job and he did the final Black Sabbath show. This is it. All 4 original guys.
Uh-huh.
He died 2 weeks later?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane, man.
Before that, Sharon had already released an official statement, and it was just gut-wrenching. She said Ozzy passed that morning surrounded by love with all of them. Her, Jack, Kelly, Amy, and even Lewis by his side. She asked for privacy, but honestly, the internet exploded with love and heartbreak. It all felt so surreal, especially since Ozzy had just reunited with Black Sabbath for their farewell concert in Birmingham on July 5th. That was the first time the original band had been together in 20 years. No one expected that show to be his final bow.
Weeks earlier, Kelly writing an emotional Father's Day tribute to her dad on Instagram, telling Ozzy, quote, "I love you more than anything in the world. I am so proud to be your daughter and beyond honored to watch you be the best papa in the world to my son."
And the tributes came flooding in. Black Sabbath simply posted Ozzy Forever, and it hit like a punch to the chest. Tony Iommi was devastated. He said he couldn't even find the words because Ozzy wasn't just his bandmate, he was his brother. There won't ever be another like him, he wrote. Bill Ward's message, just straight from the soul. He talked about missed calls, quiet moments, and those memories that now hit way harder than before. Geezer Butler also posted calling Ozzy his dear friend and thanking him for all the years they had. 4 kids from Aston, he said. Who would have thought? It was such a full-circle, bittersweet moment. It's clear, Ozzy wasn't just a rock star, he was the rock star. And even though he's gone, his energy, his voice, his wild, chaotic, beautiful presence, it's never going to be forgotten. Not by Sharon, not by the band, and definitely not by the millions of fans who grew up on his music. Rest in peace, Ozzy. We'll never stop hearing your crazy train. Just days before his passing, Ozzy Osbourne had one last surprise for fans. He revealed that Black Sabbath's final concert would be hitting theaters next year as a film called Back to the Beginning, Ozzy's Final Bow. And now that he's gone, that title hits way different. It's no longer just a farewell show. It's his last goodbye. The second the news broke, the tributes came pouring in. Black Sabbath simply wrote, Ozzy Forever. That one line said it all. Elton John, who's also a music legend in his own right, called Ozzy a true legend, a trailblazer, and one of the funniest people he's ever met. He shared that Ozzy wasn't just a friend, he was unforgettable. Elton said he'd miss him deeply and sent love to Sharon and the rest of the Osbourne family. Even Jason Momoa, who hosted Ozzy's final performance earlier this month, posted a throwback photo with Ozzy and Sharon. He captioned it with a heartfelt message. Love you at Ozzy Osbourne. So grateful. R.I.P. You could feel the emotion just pouring through. And while their love story wasn't perfect, Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne were still very much in love until the very end. Their journey started way back in 1970 when Sharon's dad, Don Arden, was managing Black Sabbath. At that time, Ozzy was still with his first wife, Thelma Riley. But everything changed when he got fired from the band in 1979. He spiraled hard, drinking, using, locking himself away in a hotel room for months. And it was Sharon who pulled him out of that darkness. She became his manager, pushed him to go solo, and more importantly, became the woman who stood by him for the rest of his life.
This was my final performance. I have to say goodbye to the stage I've loved all my life. I'm truly sorry I could only do this show strapped into a custom chair because my body just couldn't handle it anymore. My Parkinson's has reached stage 5. Honestly, I'm not doing well. I spent a long time preparing for this concert, afraid I wouldn't be able to finish it, afraid I'd let you down. To stay sharp, I stopped taking all painkillers. I chose pain over numbness, just so I could sing one last time with a clear voice. Music has always been my best painkiller. I didn't keep a dime from this show. Every dollar went to Parkinson's research to help others like me. And I owe everything to my wife. When I was lost in the dark, she never left my side. She held my hand until I found my way back.
They got married in 1982 after Ozzy divorced Riley. And yes, they had their rough patches. In 2016, they even briefly split. But Sharon told People in 2022 that they never gave up on each other. She admitted that neither of them were saints, but somehow they always found their way back. Ozzy, on the other hand, once said that his proudest achievement wasn't the albums or the tours. It was having a marriage that lasted. He believed you only get one true love. and for him, it was always Sharon.
I met Ozzy when I was around 18, and he came into my father's office for management with Black Sabbath. So I was 18 when I first met him.
Love at first sight?
No, not at all. I was like, oh Lord, look at them. And they were all odd and hairy, and because I'd been used to dealing with artists that were American, and they were slick, and they were really put together, and they smelled nice, and you know, suddenly these guys come in and they're hairy and they're very, you know, from the north of England, and they don't look or dress like anything I've ever seen. And so I was very nervous of them.
Just 2 weeks after they celebrated their 43rd wedding anniversary, tragedy struck. On July 22nd, Ozzy's family confirmed that he had passed away at 76. In their statement, they shared that he was with family, surrounded by love in his final moments. It was raw, it was real, and it marked the end of a love story that survived everything: addiction, fame, heartbreak, and time. From bandmates to soulmates, from wild tours to quiet moments, Sharon and Ozzy's story was nothing short of legendary. And now, as the world mourns a rock icon, we're also remembering the man behind the music and the woman who loved him through it all.
Dada. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Kelly Osbourne posted a touching video with Dad Ozzy Osbourne 2 days before he died. The resurfaced video showing Kelly's Instagram story shared July 20th, with the 40-year-old documenting a morning with the Osbourne family at their England home. Kelly captured son Sidney Wilson with Grandpa Ozzy, who's watching a computer with headphones, with a slew of newspapers spread across their table.
Good morning.
Is that me? Good morning. That's
Dada.
That's
Say good morning.
Good morning.
Ozzy's wife Sharon Osbourne and their 3 kids, Amy, Kelly, and Jack, have yet to speak out in the aftermath of losing their patriarch. Weeks earlier, Kelly writing an emotional Father's Day tribute to her dad on Instagram.
Okay, so let's rewind to where it all started. Ozzy and Sharon officially became husband and wife on July 4th, 1982, in Hawaii, literally fireworks in every sense. Then fast forward to 2022, Sharon celebrated their 40th anniversary with this super emotional post on Instagram. She called Ozzy her soulmate, her best friend, and her partner in everything, from being lovers to being grandparents. She reminded everyone they'd been side by side for over 52 years, like soul ties deep.
Well, given that first impression, how in the world did anything ever develop?
I went to see their show that night with my father. They performed at this club in London, and I was so in awe of what I was seeing. Again, I hadn't seen anything like that, because all the artists that we had dealt with were very slick and a different category of music, different genre of music, just totally different. And then when I saw and how electric it was and how different, I was like blown away. I was like, whoa. So that's when I became interested in Black Sabbath.
Together they had 3 children, Amy, Kelly, and Jack. While Ozzy already had 3 kids from his previous marriage, his family with Sharon became household names thanks to their wild reality show, The Osbournes. That show was everywhere in the early 2000s, running from 2002 to 2005. Then later on, Ozzy and Jack did their own father-son travel show, Ozzy and Jack's World Detour, from 2016 to 2018. But here's the thing, Amy, their oldest, stayed out of the spotlight. She once said on the radio that she valued her privacy too much to be part of the show. She had already grown up with a famous dad, and just didn't want cameras following her around 24/7. But let's not pretend their relationship was always perfect. It wasn't. In 2013, things got rocky when rumors started swirling that Ozzy had relapsed, and the couple was heading for divorce. Ozzy came clean in a Facebook post and admitted he had been using narcotics and drinking for over a year and a half. He said he was in a dark place and acted horribly to the people he loved, especially his family. But he also said he was 44 days sober at the time and just trying to be a better man. He made it clear they weren't divorcing.
They had him on so many I mean, the list of was unbelievable.
I haven't succumbed to them pain pills and all that, because it's dangerous. I had a problem with them before, so...
How hard has that been for you to stay away from those?
Well, it's kind of like I'm a junkie anyway, so it's like I have to really, I can't have it in my possession. I have to have a nurse with me now everywhere I go. It's just, I'm burdened to my wife, burdened to everybody that works for me. I mean, I've never been like this in my life.
Do you think had you not gotten the operation back then, you would have been paralyzed?
No, I don't think. I think the guy was insane. I mean, I'm paralysed now to a certain degree. I can't walk. It's not like Ozzy Osbourne to be laid up for. I've never been this long laid up in my life.
Then came 2016 and things got even messier. They briefly split again, and this time, rumors of cheating were everywhere. Ozzy told Good Morning America a few months later that they had patched things up. On that same day, Sharon went on The Talk and told the world that she forgave him. She admitted it would take time to rebuild trust, but after over 3 decades together, she just couldn't imagine life without him. Like, if that's not love and pain rolled into one, I don't know what is. But plot twist, just weeks later, Ozzy's former hairstylist Michelle Pugh came forward and confirmed she had been having a 4-year affair with him since 2012. She said she fell in love with a married man who pursued her. At that point, Ozzy's camp told the press he was getting treatment for physical intimacy addiction and even apologized to all the women he had relationships with. It was a full-blown scandal. Years later, Ozzy finally opened up about everything in a 2020 interview with British GQ. He didn't sugarcoat it. He said cheating on Sharon was one of the biggest regrets of his life. He admitted he did some outrageous things, but he wasn't proud of breaking her heart. He said he was lucky she didn't leave him, and that reality check hit him hard. It's messy, it's painful, but at the same time, it's real. This wasn't some fairy tale romance. It was raw, chaotic, and still somehow, after everything, built on a love that never gave up. Here's where things get real emotional. After everything, the cheating, the rehab, the heartbreak, Ozzy and Sharon actually renewed their vows in 2017. On Mother's Day of all days, they stood in front of each other again and said "I do" for the second time, this time in Las Vegas. And honestly, Ozzy said it felt more real than the first time. He told Hello that this was the wedding day he'd always remember. He called it a brand new beginning and said that without Sharon, he's nothing. He even admitted how badly he messed up, but he made it clear he had never loved anyone the way he loved her.
I've learned a lesson, you know.
How close did you come, Sharon, to kicking him out?
Oh, I was just really broken in every sense.
She cut every sleeve off every coat I own.
Did you?
Yeah. I said to Ozzy, if you ever do this to me again, I'm going to cut your hair off or I'm going to cut all your clothes.
Would you rather have had your hair all cut off or the clothes?
I wish I hadn't done the stupid thing that I did to get to want that area that happening, and that's the truth, because you never know what you've had until you've lost it, and I thought I'd lost big time.
The new album.
Right before that vow renewal, Sharon opened up about their rocky but powerful reconciliation during an episode of The Talk. She was brutally honest and said, 35 years is a long time. I think I fell out of love with my husband and then fell back in again. And when someone asked her what made her fall for him all over again, she said it was because Ozzy was really trying. He was going to therapy every day. He was working on himself. And that effort, it made her see him in a new light. She said she found a whole new kind of love for him. And most of all, respect. But it wasn't just emotional support. Sharon was there for him through everything, especially when his health started to seriously decline. In October 2018, Ozzy had to get hand surgery because of a bad infection in his thumb. Then not long after, he caught a major respiratory infection. While he was recovering, he had a serious fall at home that made everything worse, especially injuries from a 2003 ATV accident that never really healed. He ended up canceling all his 2019 shows, and things just kept piling on. Ozzy had to go through not 1, not 2, but 4 spinal surgeries, the last one happening in September 2023. And all the while, he was quietly battling Parkinson's disease. He first revealed his diagnosis to the public in 2020, but Sharon later admitted he had actually been diagnosed way back in 2003. It's a nerve disorder that messes with your movement, and it hit Ozzy hard. But through it all, Sharon never left his side, and Ozzy knew it. During a 2022 interview with People, he got real and said that his health struggles actually brought them even closer together. He called Sharon the best, and he gave credit to his entire family too for holding him up when things got too heavy.
Did you notice Ozzy Osbourne's final words before his farewell? They may have marked his last goodbye. At the end of the Back to the Beginning live stream, as fireworks burst and lights dimmed, Ozzy gripped the arms of his custom black chair, struggling to stand. But he couldn't. He turned his head and, though his mic was off, mouthed what looked like, "Let me stand."
Honestly, for all the chaos and pain they went through, their story is still about something rare, real, flawed, ride or die kind of love. That's the kind of bond you don't just see in fairy tales. You live through it. Let's take a walk down memory lane and look back at the wild ride that was Ozzy Osbourne's life. Before the world knew them as Black Sabbath, Ozzy, along with Geezer Butler, Bill Ward, and Tony Iommi, actually performed under a different name, Earth. But that didn't last long. By 1970, the heavy metal dream team had found their identity, posing like total rock stars and preparing to shake the world. Born John Michael Osbourne in 1948 in Birmingham, England, Ozzy didn't exactly have the easiest start. School was rough. He struggled with dyslexia and said he barely left with more knowledge than when he started. He was often teased, even by one of his sisters, for not being able to read properly. It left him feeling ashamed. But you know what saved him? Music. He said the Beatles changed everything for him. Their music lit a fire in him and gave him an escape from the tough life he grew up in. In 1968, everything started to shift. That's when Ozzy and his friends formed Black Sabbath, named after a horror movie. And their debut album? It was a hit, a total game changer. Not long after, in 1971, Ozzy married Thelma Riley, his first wife. They had 3 children together, Jessica, Louis, and Elliot, who he adopted. Then came 1983, and Ozzy and Sharon welcomed their first child together, Amy. Their family would grow even more in the years to come, but that year marked a new chapter. Fatherhood, the second time around. Fast forward to the early 2000s, and Ozzy wasn't just a rock star anymore. He became a reality TV icon. From 2002 to 2005, he and Sharon gave fans a front row seat to their chaotic and hilarious home life in the Osbournes. People couldn't get enough of it.
No.
By 2015, Ozzy and Sharon were still hitting red carpets together, showing up at the premiere of Amy in LA. But things weren't all red carpets and glam. The next year, things got messy again when Ozzy cheated. They separated, but not for long. Ozzy later shared on Good Morning America that they had worked things out and were back on track. He wasn't shy about saying how much Sharon meant to him. In fact, in his documentary, he said, "She's the only one I've ever loved in my life. She's my soulmate."
Sharon is like my soulmate. Sometimes I love her, sometimes I don't love her, sometimes I'm angry with her. Sometimes I'm crazy about her. Sometimes I'm very jealous of her. Sometimes I want to kill her. But through it all, at the end of the day, I love her more than anything in the world. Put it this way, I couldn't live without her. I don't want to live without her. And my love for her now is bigger than it ever has been.
By 2019, Ozzy was doing what we all eventually do, looking back, reflecting. And honestly, he was kind of surprised he made it this far. In an interview with Rolling Stone in 2018, he admitted he didn't know how he was still alive after all the partying and chaos. But he said maybe, just maybe, someone up there still had a plan for him. That after 50 years in the business, there was still something left for him to do. And now, looking back at all of this, it's clear that Ozzy wasn't just a rock legend. He was a survivor, a fighter, and someone who lived louder, loved harder, and lasted longer than anyone ever expected. And there you have it, the chaotic, beautiful, and unforgettable life of Ozzy Osbourne. From rock god to reality star, from breaking hearts to healing them, his journey was messy, raw, and real. Through all the scandals, love, pain, and redemption, one thing's for sure, Ozzy left a mark no one will ever erase. What do you think was his most iconic moment? Did you grow up watching the Osbournes or blasting Black Sabbath? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that hit deep.